Hey friends, welcome to Canadian Cutting Edge. My name is Jake and today we're talking about what's in this little package. These are the L brackets from TSPROF. The ones I have are the ones that fit the K03 series. They'll probably fit their new series that'll be coming out. They're cadets, they're pioneers, just not the BLITZ. There is actually a different L bracket series for the BLITZ. I'm going to leave links down below for a variety of places where you can get these. Unfortunately, there is no store in Canada that has these L brackets. And right now it is, the tariff war is still going hot and heavy, and importing them from the United States can get expensive. I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm just letting you know that that's what happens. Let's test them out and we'll see what we think of them. I got it this way. I got a whole bunch of stuff sent to me from them at the same time, so I'm not sure if everybody's packaging is just like this or if they've got a box and stuff, but this is how it came. And let me open up my package and we'll see what we got. Here we go. So we've got an Allen key, 3mm Allen key. There you go. And there's one bracket, there's another bracket. I'm calling them brackets. TSPROF calls these L-Attachments. So there you go. There's a screw there. So we'll take that out. Now, I want to tell you something about these that maybe you don't know. And I don't know, they've been out for over a year, right around a year, a little bit over. Of course, here's a Pioneer, and if you add these on here, that means that now any, clamp that you put on there is going to be sticking out further from the end. It will change your angle that you're grinding at, which is why you probably want to use a digital angle finder. Best the Axi Cube, and I will be reviewing the T2 Axi Cube in the future. It's still in its zip wrap there, or its shrink wrap there. The thing is, this system, the Cadet, came with these, and so if I use these, this is one cool thing, and I'm just mentioning it early, how far that sticks out. The bigger clamps, well, let me take the screw out at the end of this. The standard K-series clamps, K02, K03, the length of these, what they've done is made these compatible with one another so that this and this are the same length. Let me see if I put them on the floor on the table here. They come to the exact same height. So, this is the quick clamp, but the standard clamp is the exact same length. The hole milled clamps, the other clamps, they're the same length. So you could have multiple clamps along the length of the clamp bar. The crossbar, by the way, they've got a crossbar, a larger version that you can get for the Pioneer, and I'll be reviewing that later on as well, but that's kind of cool. The end here that is hollowed out a bit, that's the end that you clamp onto. So you put it in there and you take your driver. Hopefully I'm on camera. I'm looking at myself instead of at the camera, at the screen to see if I'm lined up, and just tighten them up like that, and there it is. And then I can use the original screw that came with the hardware, and I can use that. And so there's two main ways to place these. Let me put the other one together. Okay, so they're both ready. Now there's two different ways I can use this. I can put them this way so that now it's wider. It's another way of extending this bar. Sticks out another, well, over ½ inch. Or I can put them both on like this. And now I've got one clamp right down the middle. Actually, let's do it this way so you can see the screws. Like that. And so now I'm clamping right in the middle if I want to. And of course, I can put them anywhere I want. I could put those on there and then put one of these on there as well. You know, if you want to clamp something in a lot of different places, especially if you've got like the K03, you know, you got the widest bar. Maybe you've got a fishing fillet knife and it's very flexible. It bends really easily. You might want to clamp it in more spots. Like for whatever reason you might have, it does that, and I really like the fact that these match up in length, and that's just so smart on their part. So let's put these in here. So that's snug in there. It's holding on tight. The clamps are on tight. It's just simple and wider or right in front. Now, one thing a lot of people want to be able to clamp right in front in the middle, because they believe that if you move this out here and now you're over here, that's a different angle than that is. No, that's not how it works, and I'm not going to cover that in this video. This is especially good for small knives, like a really small knife. I do a lot of tiny knives, like knives that are under 1 inch long for the cutting edge. Maybe you only want to use one clamp if it's a really small knife, but you know, if it's a bigger clamp, you can use one of these. Now you can buy clamps. TSPROF makes them, and they used to sell more commonly, but they're still available. You can get clamps that are these wider ones that are just in the middle. That's one option, but this is so much more versatile. So let me test it now for a while, and I'll include it in the same video. You don't have to come back. Just keep watching. I'll come back and I'll tell you what I think of these clamps. Okay, so I've used them for a while, and I've got them now on the Cadet. I certainly used them on my K03. They don't work for absolutely every clamp, but ever since K03, it works. If you've got an old K02 with the old clamps that have the pins at the back, yeah, they don't fit in this, but the other ones all fit because they've put this elongated hole here so that the different clamps, you know, they got a little bit more room for adjustment to fit across there. So let me put this one on there as well. And so hopefully you can see here, I'll turn it this way a little bit. See, there's room side to side a little bit because of that. So there's a little bit extra adjustment there. Let me just tighten that up a little bit. And like I showed you before, they're all in one line there. Now, your angle's going to change a little bit. Let me change my camera just a little bit here. Because of these rods. Now, the length of the rod here on the Cadet and the Pioneer is very much the same. You can buy a rod extension, and I'll do a little video about this. It's very simple. It'll be a short little video, shorter than this one. But as you can see, you know, that rod's that long. This rod's another, I'm just guessing, 80 millimeters, 3 inches, something like that, longer. And that will give you more range of angles. And of course, you'll still have to adjust everything. And like I said earlier, a digital angle finder or an AxiCube is going to help you find the angle that you're actually using. But these clamps are just, these adapters here, these attachments, the L-Attachment, it's a very good choice. These are whole milled aircraft grade aluminum, just like the rest of the components on the TSPROF systems. And the fitment's really good, and they're solid, and there's no wiggle on them. Just a really good choice. Hopefully in Canada, you'll be able to get these soon. Either a Canadian store will have them. Amazon.ca, and I'll leave a link for it down below, has some TSPROF systems, but they don't have the individual components. Maybe they will soon, maybe they won't, I don't know. And hopefully, you know, the tariff war between the United States and Canada ends soon. There you go. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And remember, friends, always cut towards your chum, not your thumb.